We are wrapping up a Deuces Wild Tuesday with some interesting things going on in this week's Climax. Let's talk about it.
Attention, star seeds. Attention, light workers. Attention, root workers. Attention, conjure doctors. Attention, nature-based faith practitioners. Attention, spiritualists. Attention, diviners. Attention, prophets. Attention, the spiritually eclectic. Attention for those seeking the road less traveled. This is time-sensitive cosmic information, so you might want to catch this. This is time-sensitive cosmic information that you can use in your prayers, manifestations, and other spirit works. Beam up now via this video or the audio link in this video's description box to get this on-the-fly esoteric wisdom. Beaming up now.
Ashe emojibatu Olodumare Bobo Egungun Ara Orun Bobo Orisha for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast.
Ekule if you're catching this in the evening time. Ekaro if you're catching this in the early morning's rise. I am iiiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled, and we are winding down your Tuesday Deuces Wild on September 3rd, 2024. We are fresh out of the new moon in Virgo on your 11th Iba Oya, Tuesday of summer solstice. It's the second one of Virgo season, and the moon tonight is waxing in the house of Virgo. So, Ogun, put those tools in your hand or put in that work. And with the moon increasing the tide, even the waters are pushing towards your highest favor. If you are listening to this at the 9 o'clock hour, then you got a couple of hours to work it out. If you're listening to this on the Wednesday rising, then this was the day of a distant memory. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with Wednesday's forecast so that those of you that are listening in your cars on the way to work, that are getting a cosmic heads up before you start your day, aren't talking too much about the day before. So when the clock strikes 12 and Ogun passes that time clock to Aya, then we got some 21-3 crossroad energy. Crossroads at the climax. Interesting. Let's talk about it. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is the forecast on radio for the road less traveled, 222.9. Beam up.
Did you enjoy the work and greenery wisdom of the Paradopotis? Well, I hope you did, because now it's time to take to the skies on my Wednesdaily blog, the Malbec Planetarium. That's www.poeticallymuse.org/Malbec Planetarium. That's POETICALLYMUSED.org/MALBEC PLANETARIUM. Bet you won't join me there tomorrow to learn a few secrets of the quasars. Ashe.
Ouch. All right now. And we're back. So if you're just now joining us, I'm iiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you your Wednesday forecast for September 4th, 2024. And we got Crossroads at the climatic point of the week. It's day 3 of the week, Iba issue, ruled by Mercury, Iba issue again, but in the Orisha days of the week, Wednesday, WINDS day, is sacred to the Orisha Oya. In the system of the planets, you will find her dangling the jewel of Uranus off her wrist because that's the planet that resonates with her. And she just went into retrograde, by the way. And the day vibrates on a 21-3, so there's Ashu again. And it's a little Ogun energy with the 21 being 7 by 3. So there's some Ogun and Yamaja nurture all in that climatic energy. It's the 11th Wednesday of summer solstice and the second one of Virgo season. So when you find yourself at those crossroads and heated moments in life, remember this: hasty decisions are very seldom wise ones. And you have some help with that because the moon tonight is waxing in the 7th house of Libra, and Libra represents love and balance, ruled by Venus, and it's the scale of justice. So increase that divine balance in all your dualities and in all things. Ashe. We are currently cruising through the second decan of Virgo season. So if you were born between September 3rd and the 13th, you're actually half Virgo, half Capricorn. So you one of them Virgos with them horns and fins and all of that. And that's good. So you got the water and the earth element kind of going on there. And it seems like those middle decan Virgos are really kind of more about delegated authority because they're sub-ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is a planet of power and authority. Ashe. All right, so we are out of the season of the kola nut in the 12 figures of African spirituality, and now we have entered into the season of the traveler. So if you were born between September 4th and October 3rd in the 12 figures of African spiritualities of the X system, your sign is the traveler, whose lucky day is Thursday, strongest sense is sight, and you want to pay close attention to your feet and your joints. And this is an air sign, kind of a prelude to Libra season. But you want to know more about various forms of astrology, then make sure that you sign my email list so you can stay abreast in what's going on in the Mothership's entire 7-day orbit. Needless to say, Wednesday is rotation 3 of the Mothership's 7. And if you were born on today, you share a solar return with Beyonce on 9/4. And if this is your birthday too, happy solar return. May the ancestors, Olodumare, Orishas, bless you with many, many more, filled with Bobo Ire. And Bobo Ire means many blessings. But if you were born on September 4th, you are quick, you're volatile, you're tempestuous, and you carry a point by force of will. You have a keen and brilliant mind, and you like to work things out alone. You are sometimes impatient in your haste to get them done. That's that goat energy. You are a true and loyal friend. Ashe. All right, other 11 zodiac houses, haterade is not alkaline. So make sure you are showing all the Virgos in your life some love as they turn up in their season. Because you know good and darn well when your zodiac season rolls around, you're going to want the world to turn up with you. And you should. So do yourself a blessing and sow that positive seed. And while you're at it, break out your natal chart and study the Virgo energy in you. Yes, you. Study the placements of House 6. Study the placements of Mercury. Study the placements of Virgo itself. And if you need some help understanding that and correlating it to your sun sign and how to balance out that energy, I have a spiritual mentorship and guidance hotline at 314 300 0368. And that's how we get that in. You can also book the link on the description box to book your video read live or one with a 24-hour turnaround. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and you are listening to the forecast. When I come back, we are going to get to the planets that are busting the moonwalk. and what they mean for you. Ashe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Iba Oya, Iba Nanaburuku, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up.
And we're back. So let's talk about the 5 planets that are dancing on the moonwalk dance floor. Starting out with Pluto, which is the ruling planet for Scorpios, going in on May 2nd in Aquarius, coming out on October 12th in Capricorn. And with Pluto going into retrograde in the Aquarius, the house of spiritual rebellion, this is really actually all of these retrograde energies are working together to, in a sense, force humanity to live more from a 5D perspective than from a D, but with 3D. But with Pluto, Pluto deals with the little things. So make sure you're taking the time to carve out those little details. That's what makes your divine design more masterful, and that's what solidifies your strong foundation in your path forward. Because Pluto is the furthest planet out from our galaxy, then Pluto is the planet that ends things and begins things. So, all these little changes and these little details that you're carving out are all designed for you to close old chapters so that new ones can be opened and fully embraced. Ashe. All right, we got Saturn going in retrograde, and that affects Capricorns and Aquariuses more than the other 10 houses, retrograding from June 29th to November 15th in Pisces. And that's going to shatter a lot of delulus, but hey, it is what it is. Oya only destroys things to make room for better things to come. And you can't really grow from where you're pretending to be. You have to grow from where you really are. Saturn's retrograde is there to help you with that, as well as for you to balance out things with your inner child. And that's how you keep your ego from getting out of control. And Saturn is the planet that deals with power, carnal energy, root chakra essence, and all that ego self. So put that baby to work so he don't get in your spirit's way. Anywho, moving on, we've got Neptune in retrograde, and Big Mama done busted the moonwalk in her own house, going in on July 2nd, coming out on December 7th in Pisces. And that is an intense one for you babies. So Pisces people, invoke the patience of Obatala, because this is a doubly intense retrograde because one, it's one of your ruling planets. Two, it's retrograding in its own house. And that's really going to bring your spiritual self forward and pull, your 3D understanding of things or whatever it is that makes you swim against your own intuition. Neptune's retrograde is going to kind of put a stop to that. For all 12 houses, Neptune retrogrades will intensify dreams and will have a lot of spiritual epiphanies as we don't believe in consequences. So, allow all of those things to come in, put your actions behind them, and let the universe know that you're listening. Because planetary retrogrades are designed for the spirit to speak louder to each and every one of you in its own divine way. Ashe. Okay, so we've got Chiron in retrograde, and Chiron is retrograding in its own house, Aries. Well, not its own house. That affects all 12 zodiac houses. I'm sorry. But Chiron is retrograding in Aries from July 26th until December 29th. And this is Aries is the house of the driving force, where Chiron is the planet of the wounded healer. So with both of those things going on, you really want to kind of be ready to address that wounded healer. Okay? Chiron deals with the really deep, deep wounds that we spend really our whole lives healing from and finding balance with. So be prepared to face those wounds head on. And it's not to pull the stitches out or pour salt in a wound, but just to track your progress and to see how much you've grown from it, how you're using it to heal, or how you may be using it to block your own blessing. Hmm, Ashe. Last but not least, we have Uranus in retrograde that just went in on Sunday, September 1st, in the house of Taurus. So a lot of our spiritual values are going to be changing, but this Uranus retrograde is going to turn out really good for many. And this is Aquarius's other planet. So if you are an Aquarius baby, both of your planets are in retrograde right now. So invoke the patience of Obatala and ride the cosmic wave. Because with Uranus in retrograde in Taurus, that means there's going to be some sudden changes in stability in positive ways. Meditating on manifesting your abundance and staying in alignment with it is how it's going to happen. But be prepared for everything to fall apart that's keeping you from your highest place physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. So, any sudden changes that come into your world may be of Uranus retrograde and for your highest good. Because again, Oya never destroys anything that she's not creating the room to build something better. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to get to your Wednesday lead tarot draw for the star seeds. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and this is Radio for the Road Less Traveled, 222.9. Beam up.
Before sight. Before sight of shells there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me.
And we're back. So, if you are seeing this part of tonight's forecast, then you're tapped in a divine algorithm and this is your message. All right, so my Wednesday collective is for the star seeds, the time travelers, the ones in the world but not of the world, the healers, the chosen ones, the black sheep. You get my drift. And we have Starglyph Ish, card number 14, and Iridescence. And this is a starglyph, meaning one of the major arcanes of the Mayan oracle deck, if you will. And this is about awakening the shamanic energy in you. And because this is a crossroad kind of reading, because the daily numerology was a 3 at the time this tarot reading was done, many of you are at the crossroads of ascending higher or dulling down to fit into society. And it's not that you want to fit in, it's just that sometimes that loneliness on the road less traveled bites. But trust that solitude time, because that solitude time is designed for you to infuse into all colors of your being. It's time for you to pour the good, the bad, and the ugly into one pot and be confident in who you are, who you always been, who you are becoming in the future. And sometimes that does require solitude. And in that solitude, you master learning to love your own company. And when you learn to master loving your own company, then you attract the ones that are meant to enhance your path. And this solitude is also coming about so that you can get a harder grip, a deeper grip on what is real to you. Because with the hologram inverted, it's like there's some kind of a rift there between your views and the greater reality, or some kind of hesitation in putting this energy, the Ish energy, out into the world. And the hologram represents images. So star seeds, star glyphs, and it happens to the best of us. Because people around us can't really figure us out, they create all these little boxes or ideas of who they think we are or who we are supposed to be. And that can create what I call energetic holograms. Okay? So you and only you can decide which characteristics of you are real and which ones were fabricated to make others comfortable. But this solitude alone and embracing your shamanic energy will help you to understand what your reality is and what's your hologram. I'm curious. I'm going to draw one more. Oh, wait, there's 3 cards. The third one, let me flip the deck. The spirit said 3 cards. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So we got card 11, Dissonance, at the bottom of the deck, and it shows up inverted. So many of you starseeds were kind of coming out of a rock and a hard place when it comes to dissolving everything you've been given. Because we're in the age of information, we take in a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And because the dissonance is inverted, there's still much that needs to be let go to fully embrace the iridescence of your energy. So it's like taking your life experiences like food. Let the lessons be the nutrients and defecate the rest that doesn't work. And when you do that, it grows a new plant. Trust this space and trust the process, because this solitude is designed to build your confidence, to sharpen your hunger for success, and for you to get comfortable in your own lane and surrendering to your divine flow. Because the spirit world is vast, so in aligning with your truth, you will attract the aspects of that vastness that are truly meant for you. And in doing that, you become the iridescent ink. That's my general message for the night. If you need any personal counseling, then by all means dial the number on the screen or hit the pin site link to schedule your video appointment or the pre-recorded reading with the 24-hour turnaround. I am iiiYansaje Muse, and this is Radio for the Road Less Traveled, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.
Don't make me land a tornado where I could have been a cool breeze. Aya. The Uranus collection, brought to you by the Mothership Mystic Boutique. All proceeds go to 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio for the Road Less Traveled. Beam up.
Thank you for joining me for this forecast. I certainly hope that you gain some things that will make this a divinely blessed Wednesday, and may Oya bring you positive winds of change. If you are listening at the 9 o'clock hour, then stay tuned for my Tuesday nightly vision of what love looks like, brought to you by the Divine Masculine Fathers of Song. If you are listening at the Wednesday Rising, then stay tuned for the Rising Bembe to Oya before we play the exotic mothers of groove all day long. And remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind, your ass will follow. This is 222.9 The Mothership, Internet Radio for the road less traveled. Make sure you stay beamed up to the 24/7 Cosmic Groove. Ashe.
Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.